Urban, it starts here.
Good morning, Uganda. How are you doing on this, the first day actually of April 2015? My name is Gaetano and welcome to Urban Today. On the show today, we're going to be discussing Kyambogo University. Of course, the Chancellor of Makerere University came out to say that it had failed to meet its minimum standards. And so we'll be getting into that issue as to why they think it should go down to not being a university and just being a polytechnic. And then later on, we shall be discussing the murder of the lead state prosecutor, Joan Kagezi, which took place on Monday evening. So we'll be having one of our very own in-house analysts, so to speak, to kind of take us into what this means for Uganda. So keep it right here. In fact, without much further ado, let's get straight into your Press Digest. And sitting right next to me, and by the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing the intro, it's because Malika is not here. So bear with us, and let's go straight to the Press Digest with me and my co-host over here, Joshua Porro. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, guys?
Not too bad, not too
so
bad.
Today we shall not have Malika's signature, and that means we have missed that section of it.
That's right.
Well, of course, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Press Digest on Urban Today. My name is, as usual, Joshua Porro here with Gaetano, and we are taking a look at the New Vision, which is Uganda's leading daily, just having a look at some of the events that are making headlines in the news today. And of course, on the front page of the New Vision, prosecutor killed by ADF gunmen. And they here say the story actually is on page 5, page 6 and page 15, where they say she had received death threats before and she had been given a guard at her home, though she did not want a personal guard to be moving with her. So all that story is actually on page 5. It has so many details where, and also the terrorism suspects. The trial has been halted, but of course the DPP, Mike Chibita, says there are over 300 state prosecutors who are willing to take on the case. So people should not be worried simply because Joan Kagezi was murdered that justice will not be served. No,
That's
justice
right.
is going to be served because so many other state prosecutors are willing to take over the case.
On page number 6, you can also see the story does continue, like Joshua was saying. Kagezi was a star prosecutor, and it breaks down exactly who Joan Kagezi was on page number 6, talking about her primary school where she went, and also, you know, university, her legal practice diploma, and all the likes, basically from 1973 all the way to March 2015, when she was killed. So you can get to see who the lady was. I mean, they've given a lot of time to this story. They give 3 pages, 5, 6, and 15.
That's a lot of time.
Because obviously of the importance of the person.
Yeah, the magnitude of the story.
Absolutely. Also a breakdown of exactly what transpired on that day on page 6 again, how it happened, and you can see exactly the trail that she took and the eyewitness accounts and all the likes on that page.
And well, of course, moving away from that, on page 3 of the New Vision, we have China key to Uganda's economy, and that is according to President Museveni, who lauded the Chinese government policy in Africa, saying it addressed some of the challenges faced by the continent. The president was addressing the student community at the China Foreign University in Beijing on Tuesday.
Yes, of course, China being a very key sort of partner when it comes to African business.
China has actually invested a lot in Africa, and some people, when I was in Washington for the US-Africa Leaders Summit, some people's fear was
what do we say when you were in China?
No, I wasn't in China. Yeah. I've never been to China before.
Okay, sorry.
So some people's fear was that President Barack Obama and America actually organized the US-Africa Leaders Summit to get back to China, because China has a lot of investments in Africa, and basically it's like China is taking over Africa. Actually, so the US also decided to put up something to attract the attention of the African leaders, because when you look at most of the investments that are taking place in Africa, you look at the roads, the bridges, the
infrastructure.
The infrastructure, basically, it's being championed by China. A few that are being championed by the World Bank, of course, in support by the American.
Actually, if you take Africa and you turn it upside down, if you take the continent of Africa and you turn it upside down, you'll find made in China. Moving on. Continuing on page number 3. Mbara, Kampala, Gulu, and Busitema to get industrial parks. The government plans to build 4 regional science parks in the country. So that's a good story over there for them. I think it's nice.
Well, an interesting one on there on page 4.
Yes.
You know, it's retired soldiers to work in government departments. What does it say, guys?
Some came in limping. However, majority cut a demeanor of able men and women with no sign of age, taking its toll on them. On parade, they were physically alert. Wamala has said the army had made arrangements with government institutions to employ the retirees.
I think to be successful in this country, you need to be a soldier. Because there was a lender circle that you are forced to join. The other day I was listening and soldiers were complaining that they're forced to join. There was a lender circle, and then if you do not join, there was a lender circle, you might not receive your salary. These are allegations. I can't prove them, however.
Yeah. So
all that and so, but I
see them in government. See them.
Remember the other day when I told that the UPDF is taking over?
Yep. This is part of it?
It's part of it.
Part of the grand plan.
This is part of my plan, by the way. Yeah, and I told you, don't be surprised tomorrow when you're told that Jennifer Musisi is a general.
All right, continuing on. We did mention page
you forgot something very important.
Yep.
There is actually a story on page 1 that Makerere students hack into WhatsApp. And then it continues on page 4 where it says, ministers, MPs, CEOs exposed by Makerere hackers. Now, a group of 6 third-year Makerere IT students have hacked into multiple female WhatsApp groups and private chats and spilled thousands, perhaps millions of personal conversations. In the process, the students made startling discoveries in which responsible elderly male MPs, ministers, CEOs, clergy, renowned businessmen, tycoon, and lecturers are engaged in irresponsible behavior, extramarital affairs, including illicit sexual liaisons with young girls.
Imagine.
Guy.
This is going to be interesting. Whatever those what do you call it? WhatsApp leaks.
Yep. The Yuga leaks.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, these guys are smart. Continuing on to page number 8, we do have women MPs oppose term limits. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Women MPs and civil society activists have opposed the proposed constitutional amendments to restrict the tenure of women legislators to 2 5-year terms in parliament, saying it is unconstitutional. So, go figure.
You see what I like about this country? Immediately you mentioned the word unconstitutional. Tomorrow you'll hear the NRM caucus has a meeting, and the next thing you know is they have resolved to make it constitutional.
Yes.
They pass a bill into parliament.
Yes.
Someone seconds it.
Yes.
By a vote. Shh.
But that is the beauty of being in power.
And,
You have the mandate.
Not like to forget to congratulate Nigerian President. Good luck, Jonathan.
But that's later on page. That's international news.
International news.
Why are you skipping ahead? We're still doing
No. Actually, that
we
is
are
not international
We are
news.
still here on women MPs oppose term limits. Now
Yes.
you skipped Nigeria.
I have not skipped. I'm congratulating
but
Good luck, Jonathan.
But we're not yet there.
No.
Okay.
In international, you will congratulate somebody else.
Okay,
For
fine.
now, I'm congratulating Good luck, Jonathan, for accepting defeat.
Okay.
Does it happen anyhowly in Africa?
Get this, guys. Continuing on page number 8. Kawanda produces genetically modified bananas to fight wilt.
And also, I am so much against the genetically modified organisms, the GMOs and so on and so forth. One thing for sure is Uganda, I believe, is being pushed by the first world countries to get involved.
You think everything... Hold on a second.
No.
You seem to think everything is a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy.
Yes. How are women...
You know that we receive a lot of aid, and our aid is tied aid. Do not forget that. It comes with terms and conditions, my friend.
Okay, can I read the story? The National Agricultural Research Laboratories at Kawanda has produced banana restraints to the bacterial wilt disease, members of parliament have heard.
Yes, that is very okay. I don't have a problem. This debate has been going on in parliament for a very long time.
Okay.
Now, what happens is you're producing bananas that are resistant to wilt.
Which is great, right?
Which is very, very great. But how about the effects it has on you? You're just not so
you
sure
can't
about
have your
that.
cake and eat it too. Do you want
So what
to
I'm
have
trying to say
bananas
is, let's look at the economic impact of this to the Ugandan economy. Remember that we greatly depend.
We don't want wilt, but you don't want to eat it because you're scared it's going to affect you. So what must they do?
That's why our life expectancy goes down every year.
Now our life expectancy is
Now
going
let
down.
me give you the economic side of this story.
Can we move on to the 2016 map first?
Can people understand this first?
Okay, you tell us.
Okay, what I'm saying is that when you look at an issue like producing genetically modified organisms, now what is going to happen is tomorrow we shall want to export our GMOs. And then the complication is going to get into the fact that our GMOs will be of low quality and we can no longer export our agricultural products because our GMOs are of low quality. And then our exportation, of course, incomes are going to go low and you're going to get poor. Now, if I were these agriculturists,
all of this
I
because
would
wait, you're getting all of this because Kawanda has produced genetically modified bananas to fight wilt.
Kawanda is a laboratory.
Okay, fine. 2016, DP wraps Electoral Commission over roadmap. What's the conspiracy behind that?
RAP's Electoral Commission over roadmap. These opposition guys have, of course, been talking about electoral reforms, and this is what they are still fighting. And the DP said that the 2016 general elections will be marred by irregularities if the Electoral Commission does not follow its roadmap. At the end of the day, sometimes it gets hicked up, but as usual, we expect these irregularities.
One last story here before we do let it go, okay? New Luganda Bible has been launched.
I have one in Acholi.
Namirembe Diocese Bishop has launched a new Bible translated into Luganda with a call on Christians to always read it because it has God's message. Well done. I think that's fantastic.
And Nakaseke is getting a university, and of course that and so much more in
Now
the new vision.
you can say congratulations to Goodluck Jonathan for losing, or not for losing.
Okay.
To
No.
Muhammadu Buhari
Relax,
for
but
winning.
now. Hold on. Before
Okay.
you go to
And we
Muhammad
have no
Buhari.
time. We have no time.
Yeah, I know we have no time, but 30 seconds of it doesn't kill. What I'm saying is I congratulate President Goodluck Jonathan
As who?
for accepting defeat, calling his hoop. Okay, let me not say that word. Might sound bad in the red pepper. But the guy who hooped his rear
Yes.
and telling him congratulations.
And by
That
the
does
way,
not happen in Africa anyhow, Lee.
He won by 15 million votes.
Man,
First
that's
time
a
an
lot.
incumbent has been removed in Nigeria. I think we're going to leave it over there.
Yep, and
Yeah.
by the way, I have intentions of standing for presidency in Uganda in 2016, so I might also win by 15 million. You never know. That is half the population here.
That has been your Press Digest. When we do get back, of course, we'll be going right now to look at your weather. We are going to have discussions regarding, of course, Chambogo University and so much more with myself, with Poro, of course, and with Malaika. So keep it right here on Urban Today. Welcome back to Urban Today. There's a quick look at your weather. Man, it was pouring with rain today. I think the rain came early this morning because normally at 5:45 it starts. I think it started at about 3 this morning, 4 o'clock this morning. Heavy rains, but hey, we are not complaining, are we? Right, now let's take a quick look at how you can get yourself employed with Get Your Grind On.
Get Your Grind On is brought to you by Horeb Services Uganda Limited.
Right, getting your grind on, of course, give you a chance to find that gainful employment that will put money in your pocket and hopefully just put a smile on your face. So let's see what is out there for you to sort of write down and get some good work. Remember, you have to hustle for jobs. You have to hustle. You have to get out over there. You don't sit down and wait. Otherwise, good things won't happen to you. All right, today we have the Chemonex International, and the job title is Trade and Policy Officer. Now, all you have to do is email your application to recruit@ugandaeea.com, and the deadline is April 10th, okay? The job title, once again, is Trade and Policy Officer at Chemonex International, and your deadline is April 10th, so make sure that you send in your CV, all right? Moving right along, that has been Get Your Grind On.
Get Your Grind On was brought to you by Horeb Services Uganda Limited.
All right, and moving on from getting your grind on, from getting your job, it's time for us to basically go back into time with Today in History as we take a look at, what happened on this day, as like I say, back today, or whatever she says. But let's take a quick look at history today and see exactly what happened on the 1st of April, and specifically, and it was right here in Uganda, by the way. 1893, we've gone way back. On this day, Portal hauled down the flag of British East Africa Company at Mengo, that's the Kabaka's residence, and hoisted the Union Jack on the 29th of May 1893. He signed a treaty with Mwanga II, the Kabaka. So there you go. Portal hauled down the flag of the British East Africa Company at Mengo and hoisted the Union Jack. Of course, you know what the Union Jack is, right? It's the British flag, you know, with all its glory and all of that. So there you go. You learned something new about what happened today in history in 1893. Moving right along, it's time to find out if you are curious just as much as I am with, is that so? Normally when somebody says something and it's really surprising, you're like, really? Is that so? Well, take a look at this one and see exactly what we're talking about. Today's Is That So? Death Star from Star Wars. Death Star, of course, was the cruise or the ship that they used. Death Star from Star Wars would cost about 852, and then those many numbers, because I don't know how to say that, if humans tried to build it in real world. 850, okay, let me try. The first 100, that's 100, then you got a million, then you got a billion, then it's trillion, then it's gazillion. $852 gazillion. If humans tried to build it in the real world, the Death Star would cost that much. If you're a big fan of Star Wars, you know exactly what the Death Star was. That was one of the spaceships that was used. That's a lot of money. So you can imagine it will never be built. Right, that has been your Is That So? When we come back, a lot more with Malaika, myself, and Joshua Poroso. Don't you go anywhere. Keep it right here on Urban Today.